Why am I so happy?
Because we're on the road again.
Look, yeah! Now we're about to begin the big job. We're going to pull out our cupboard and then just build a temporary little frame so we can still have our bed on our way over Western Australia, and then we'll just have little boxes full of food and crap so we can get over there without the back of the Troopy being too messy. But yeah, we're not really enjoying it. But we can't wait to begin renovations, like the proper ones, once we get over to Perth. But yeah, we gotta do all the crappy jobs first. So here we go.
Sorry, I'm just trying to cut a piece of toast in between.
The Troopy is as empty as I've ever seen it, even before we got it. We're buggered. This is a big job. You didn't realise how much crap you can fit in a Troopy. It's insane.
Go for a look.
But now we are doing something really cool. We didn't think we'd get this done before we left home, but we found someone who's a family friend, or family brother. Friend's brother. And he's going to help us with the...
You go.
You right there, mate?
Yeah, mate. I'm just getting stuff done.
With the spray on the inside, because over the years we've banged the Troopy up a fair bit, especially the inside. So we've got all these like marks and stuff. There's chips out of it everywhere.
Look at that in.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. Actually, even a bit of rust there. So yeah, we're just gonna pull the fridge out, fridge freezer. That's the only thing we've got left in here now, and we're gonna drive it to a mate's house and get the interior sprayed. So we're pretty excited because we didn't think we would get it done before we left, because we have like less than a week here at home left, and now yeah, we've found someone, so we're pretty stoked. So we'll get that done and we'll show you what it's like when it's finished. Alright, so we went a little bit extra ham taking apart the Troopy, and now this is what it looks like.
Hello.
So we're taking the drawer out so we can get in and spray the wheel arches. Chase here is helping us out, aren't you, buddy?
Yeah.
Screw collector.
Screw collector.
Got it covered.
And we've just taken all the panels off now at the moment. We just got this one with all the electrical.
I reckon it'll probably just hang, this one.
Yeah. And then hopefully we can take it in then and get it sprayed. A little bit extra work we didn't realise. Hey Zebby.
Yeah, it is what it is.
It is what it is. Yeah, Uncle Zebby, what's the next place in Australia we're going to visit?
Oh, we're trying to get to Exmouth. Chase?
Haven't we already been there like tons of times?
We've been there twice before,
Maybe for a little bit.
and we'd love to go back again.
What do you reckon of your new hat?
Good.
Good?
Yeah.
Comfy?
Yeah.
You like the yellow one?
Yeah.
Good stuff. Our biggest supporters right here. Alright, here we go. We're just about to drop the Troopy in. Oh, there's
What are you
Zebby.
doing, mate?
Trying to figure out my lefts from my rights. Check out how empty he is. Oh, Cooper Trooper. It's time to upgrade, get a spruce up. Troopy's in the shop. Woman at work. So we thought we'd better make some new curtains while we're at it. So we just went to Spotlight and bought this block-out material. And we've just got a bit of stretch wire up the top here.
Show it on the ground.
And then we've just screwed in a few tech screws and hooked it on the end. This is what we did in our old setup too, so it's a system that worked and we're just going to stick with it.
We've got the split in the middle now, so we'll be able to tie the curtains back either side, so you won't have to like unhook it.
So now we're just fixing the Troopy back up. We're going to put all the old panels back on the sides, and when we're in Perth we're going to change them out and put some new ones in, but for now we just got to chuck them in because we want to get back on the road. Originally we were going to go through Northern Territory and spend 2 weeks there because the South Australian borders were shut, but because our car took longer to paint, those few extra days were just what we needed because now South Australian borders are open and now we can spend 2 weeks there, which is what we wanted to do anyway because we're going to see a friend and then maybe we'll have a little adventure on the way as well. But yeah, for now we're just putting everything back into the Troopy, the drawer, the side panels, putting that front shelf back in that sits up on the top, can't remember what that's called at the moment, and then just chucking all that crap in and hitting the road again. We are so excited. It's taken us so long to get back on the road and yeah, we just want to be there already. We're a little bit impatient, but yeah, a few more hours of packing and it'll probably actually take us all afternoon to be honest, but yeah, we're ready. Let's do this. Why am I so happy?
Because we're on the road again.
Look, yeah! We are ready to go. We're going to head towards South Australia. We've been approved to cross the border, so that's pretty cool. And we're just going to spend 2 weeks there before we can head off into WA. So we're pretty excited. The whole troop is packed. There's shit everywhere. And yeah, we're just ready. We're back on the road. It's been a whole year. That's way too long. Way too long.
I got the juicy. We ate that lunch.
Oh yeah. So Aussie. Pie for breakfast.
Yeah, Mark.
What's the name of this town?
Can't remember. Like something. I'll have a look for you.
It's beautiful.
Nice. Carjanago?
What was that?
Carjanago, I think. I don't know how to say it. C-A-R-G-E-N. No, freaking dots on it. I-G-O.
Sounds good. We'll roll with that.
Carjanago.
Did you figure it out?
Well, I can read it now. It's Lake Kajeligo.
Cargill.
Cargill-Deligo. No.
So we saw that one of the buildings was like from 1923, and then so Zeb wanted to figure out, you know, why they settled there so early. My guess that it was like a gold town or some sort of mining for gold. And
Formally established as a settlement in 1879 during a gold rush, you cheated, and proclaimed the town in 1918. Lake Kajeligo is connected to Sydney by rail and serves a district producing sheep, cattle, wheat, fruits, vegetables and magnesite. Whatever that is. There you go.
it's a good little lesson.
Troopy says, more fuel please.
We had to stop for some repairs because I noticed that our mirror was nearly falling off.
I'm just trying to like drive a screw into it to hold it together.
It's like snapping on the other side, like across there. I thought it was gonna fall off. I'm like, pull over, Zeb. Oh. What do we resort to, Skinny?
Me and Simone just had a stupid fight about whether the screws or cable ties or tape. So we've come up with cable ties and tape. Bit of a compromise.
I go the tape.
And there you have it, the sturdiest thing you're ever going to see.
Morning guys, we are just waiting in the Troopy for our first COVID test. So the rules are we're allowed into South Australia as long as we get 3 COVID tests in the first 2 weeks. So on day 1, 5 and 12 was it?
Yeah.
But we're not required to quarantine, which is good news because we might have a little surprise coming up very shortly. Get the test, make sure it's negative and go adventuring. So we're pretty stoked. You ready for this?
Am I smiling?
I don't know.
I am.
About to get something stuck right up our nose. Wish us luck.
How's the test, mate?
It wasn't even bad. You talked it up to be hell bad. She was really nice and gentle and stuck the thing up my nose. It's all good.
The lady was like 10 times more gentle than the one I had previously. Like, I was like, oh, that wasn't bad. I was like, because I was like, look at Simone, like, she must be real tough, but it was just the gentleness of the lady.
I'm pretty tough though. Hey guys, so a different turn of events. We've actually been invited to go out on the Rodney Fox shark expedition for a couple of stints. So we're doing a bit of volunteer work just for Andrew, who's the son of Rodney. We met him the last time we were out on the boats. It was actually one of our wedding gifts from our beautiful, beautiful friends, which we're still so grateful for, even to this day. And yeah, so we're steaming for about 15 hours to get to the Neptune Islands, because usually you go out of Port Lincoln, but at the moment they're running out of Adelaide. So we're heading there now. We'll steam overnight, and then tomorrow hopefully we'll get in with the big boys. You can see one right behind me. But in real life it's going to be epic. The last time we did it, it was amazing, and from what I've heard, the sharks have been really good lately. So yeah, hopefully the weather holds up and we can jump in, have a look at them. I'm so excited. Like, I love being a marine biologist. Like, just the fact that random stuff like this can happen and you just get to go out to sea and you meet the most fascinating people. I just feel like ocean people, they just have that really nice cruisy vibe about them, and they're really good adventure buddies. They just want to have fun and learn. So they're my type of people, and I think that's why I'm attracted to the ocean as well. Also, when you're sitting, or I should say, when you're diving next to these guys, even though you're inside a cage, it makes you feel so, so small. And yeah, it's just beautiful to get that perspective every now and again to shake your world up a bit.
Hi, yeah, welcome to day 2 of the Rodney Fox shark expedition.
We made it, yeah, we're alive.
Yeah. Now we just arrived at the Neptune Islands, didn't we, mate?
Yeah.
And yeah, we're just about to have bacon for brekkie and eggs and hash browns. And then, yeah, we'll hopefully get into the sharkies.
The Neptune Islands are Australia's largest colony of long-nosed fur seals. It's also an important breeding ground for them, with up to half of Australia's population coming here to breed. So it comes as no surprise really that there's a rotating population of great whites that pass through these waters to forage for seals. On board the Rodney Fox, to attract the sharks close that are already in the area, burley and bait are used. I want to be totally open and honest about this experience with you guys, as there is some controversy and debate around the subject, which we will talk about a little later on with Andrew. So a typical The aim of the baits is not to allow the sharks to eat the tuna gills and offcuts, as they don't want the sharks to rely on them as a food source. However, as great whites are ultimate ambushers, they get the best of the crew sometimes, and baits are taken. The early mornings are the most likely time you'll get to witness breaching behaviour. This is where you get to see the full power of these predatory animals. If a shark does obtain a bait, there is a 15-minute cooling off period where no more baits are allowed in the water. The weather makes a difference in what way this tour is run. Typically though, there's obviously cage diving with the sharks. Then there's a swim with the sea lions at either Hopkins or Grenville Island. And if you're lucky, you might even get the chance to spot the rare black-footed rock wallaby that resides on the offshore islands of the Eyre Peninsula. This is what we found.
She's so short, she just like stuck under.
Finished the first full day out on the boat, and the morning was crazy. We had so many sharks, so we were helping out, getting people into the surface cage, getting them in there, having a look, and everyone was roughing out, having the best time, and so were we, learning what to do on board. It was a really great experience. But yeah, topping off today, we were heading back into Hopkins Island. We're going to go swimming with the sea lions tomorrow, but on the way we saw like a pod of dolphins, and they come and started surfing on the bow, so that was pretty fun to watch. Yeah, boys! Yee-hoo! Just woke up to a cracker of a day. Check this out.
Shirt.
After a whopping adventurous few days, there was no better way to top off the afternoon than with a sunset mission to an offshore island. These little dudes are extremely agile, shy, and come out of dusk to feed. Unfortunately though, these beautiful little creatures are near threatened on the IUCN list, and their small remaining populations across Australia are isolated and at risk of extinction. What you doing on my island? What you doing? What? What are you doing? Oh damn. I'm jumping. After all the fun and games, it was time to sit down with Andrew and ask some of the hard questions.
I'm Andrew Fox, Managing Director of Rodney Fox Great White Shark Expeditions. I've been coming out on these tours for 40 years now. I've been going underwater with great whites and seen a lot of different cycles of behaviour and differences of attitudes in the public. After my father was attacked by a great white shark back in 1963, he didn't want to be scared of sharks. So he started off by inventing the shark cage and getting the first ever film and footage of sharks. And with Ron Taylor as a cameraman, made the first ever films to show great white sharks to the world. And that inspired a whole following of people overcoming fear of great white sharks that we've hoped has evolved to a state today where people can actually understand their real important role in the ecology. Here at the Neptune Islands, we've got the biggest fur seal colonies off of the Australian coastline. So it's the best restaurant you're going to find for great white sharks in the Southern Ocean.
So you use burley and baits on board. What do you say to the people who are against using baits and burley?
Yeah, to really learn more about the sharks and get reliable sightings, we use fish-based attractant, which is a byproduct of the tuna industry, to get the sharks to be even interested in our boat and not the fur seals that they're here for. That comes with a lot of controversy, and we do a lot of research on many levels to make sure that the sharks come first and that we're not negatively impacting on them. We want to make sure that the sharks aren't becoming more dangerous or particularly and endangering them. So only fish-based attractant is used in sparing quantities at limited locations, and the shark activity in numbers is absolutely recorded to see how that is impacted by our activity. Interestingly, we find out from our research that white sharks can travel all the way around Australia, and often there's been links to thinking that cage diving increases the sharks' potential to attack people. But from what we know about the shark population demographic where that happens, those clusters or anomalies over in the east coast or in Western Australia where there's environmental factors with sharks that don't seem to identify with any of the sharks that we know are involved in those attacks. So you would think that if there was a big increase in the number of attacks, it would be local attacks. And in addition to that, it doesn't seem to be that there's even one rogue shark that's got a liking for preying on people. That just, it hasn't happened outside of, the Jaws movie. What a lot of people really should know is that a lot of the attacks that happen may have a lot to do with sharks holding their territory and protecting their space and their resources. And as people get more into their areas, they'll be biting back to compete. And one good thing about cage diving is it actually puts a value to sharks and a need to want to protect them, rather than just a platform for thrill-seeking adventurers. That the platform's pretty much the only thing that gives access for researchers to really find out more about this animal. I think that responsible cage diving is actually better for the sharks, And I think that gives us big insights in the reality of the danger of white sharks. They've always been potentially dangerous, formidable predators, and by learning more about them, we not only learn how to avoid them, and if there's situations that look to increase attacks, but we also learn how to protect them, and that makes the oceans a better and healthier place.
So we did it. We finished our 8 days out to sea on Rodney shark expeditions. It was a really good experience getting a little bit more work with our dive masters, because we haven't used that yet, so that was nice to get used to filling tanks and getting people ready to jump in for a dive. Zebby did a lot of the cage captain. And it was so much fun just getting down there with the sharks, like just to watch their different personalities, the way they move through the water. It's kind of mesmerizing just sitting there in the cage watching these guys circle you or just go above you or underneath you. And some of them get really close, some of them don't want anything to do with you. But it's really cool. They have lots of researchers that come out on board, and someone's coming out in the next couple trips to do a bit of work on shark repellent. So I'm really interested in that. I think that's really cool. So the same kind of thing as the shark shield and all that. So they're trying to make it stronger and more efficient to keep people safe in the water if they are doing things like surfing or diving or free diving. We're buggered, pretty stoked, and we should be on our way to Mount Gambier soon. We're going to visit our friends Aaron and Reese, and a few more of them down there, so
That should be sweet.
it's also worth a mention, while on board we got a chance to meet this legend, Alby Mangles. I swear he was saying lots of nice things about us here, but I accidentally had the GoPro on time lapse. Such a rookie. This dude was wandering around Australia's outback before Steve Irwin, before Bear Grylls, and was sharing a few of his amazing tales with us while on board. So go check him out. So I heard that you lived here in a cave with penguins for a year. Over there?
The little one, this abseil.
Really?
No, I'm only joking. Just around the other side. Oh, just let me
One of the last amazing things we witnessed before heading home was Wedge Island. It felt like we were in an old pirate movie or something out of Jurassic Park, with the mist covering these gorgeous sheer cliffs. I was totally in awe, jaw dropped, with a full heart. Overall, this tour was run really well. With all ecotourism, there's always going to be some sort of impact, small or large, when involving human interaction. In situations like these, where there's a lot of conflicting opinions, I'd rather go out and check it myself. Customers came out of the cage with a newfound respect for great whites, wanting to help protect and learn more about these top predators. With roughly 100 million sharks killed globally each year, primarily for their fins for shark fin soup, a dish found across Asia, I think any education in conservation is a good thing. I'm still sitting on the fence about the use of baits, as I use them so you can actually see the sharks. But on the other hand, I would love to see more research being done on the behaviour and movements of the sharks that are interacting with the boat, and also the ones that are deterred by it. To say cage diving makes sharks more likely to attack humans or boats, I believe is a blanket statement, one that is made out of fear. It's an obvious choice, and I'm not saying it's not a possibility, just that we need more research on the subject. There's so many factors that could be involved in a shark attack, like fishing boats and bycatch release in the area, tuna pens close to shore, less fish stocks in the ocean, more people, the time of year. Is it whale season? Is it breeding season? Surfers looking like prey? Are you fishing? Not to mention, great whites are opportunistic predators and are naturally attracted to floating objects on or near the surface. Research it for yourself, form your own educated opinion, and if you enjoyed this video, leave a comment below. And guys, keep it civil. Let's have an intellectual discussion here. This is no place for a trolling war, and shitty half-assed comments won't be tolerated. As always, sending so much love, and if you want, like, subscribe and share to see more epic adventures. Peace!
Yeah, well, my dad, he was spearfishing and the shark bit him and then took his fish off his line. He wasn't probably going to eat my dad.
That's funny.